Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Greetings, family, and welcome back to Raising the Vibe. Thank you for tuning into this video. As those of you who follow my channel are well aware, I took a sabbatical for about a year from making videos, but recently I've come back and started uploading content again, and I intend to continue doing so. So if you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you'll be made aware of every time I upload new content to the channel. Now, today I am here to talk to you about something that is very sad and distressing. I hate to have to make this video. I actually debated with myself on whether or not to make it, but ultimately I decided that the viewers who followed me on my travels to the Gambia, when I made several trips there, deserve to know what is happening there now. And that is that within the space of the last 9 months to a year, 5 Black American females have passed away in the Gambia under circumstances that were, to say the least, unexpected. 5 of them. The way I found out about this is that a sister friend of mine named Kittist, who has a YouTube channel called Global Green Book, reached out to me last week to let me know that a fellow Black American woman who had actually moved over to the Gambia was ill, was in the hospital, and a GoFundMe had been established to raise money to help with her medical bills. So, that was very distressing to me. And I began to look on YouTube to try to see what information I could find about this fellow Black American. Her name is Andrea. Her YouTube channel was Anja Africa. And she has started another YouTube channel called Spirit Knocks for Brooklyn Mosaic that was more spiritual. And so, I looked up some of her videos, try to get a sense of what had been going on with her. And then within a couple days, I found out on YouTube that Anja, we'll call her, had passed away. She had passed away. And that was so distressing to me because I actually knew her. I actually communicated with her multiple times by phone in connection with my travels to the Gambia. And Kittist of Global Green Book had actually started a business with Anja over in the Gambia where they were selling secondhand clothing. So, it was just so distressing to me. And in looking on YouTube, I realized, or I learned, that she wasn't the only Black American who has passed away in the Gambia. So those of you who follow my videos know that I started researching to try to figure out exactly who has passed away, what are the circumstances, and I found that, again, there were 5 women, and I've taken a few notes to make sure I don't miss anything. The 5 were Anja Africa, who passed away just last week, Veronica Histed, who had a YouTube channel and was a Black American, and the last video on her channel was 6 months ago. There was a woman named Mary who owned a boutique called Natty Locks Boutique, where she did hair, and she and her employees did hair over in the Gambia. There was Beverly Allen, who they also called Dr. Beverly. And there was Audrey Davis, who had a YouTube channel as well called Soul Her Sister. All 5 of those women passed away within the last 9 months to a year, all unexpectedly. And other YouTubers have been commenting on it, and I'm really at a loss for words. I'm really at a loss for words. I am very, very concerned. Let's look at the circumstances or some of the things that I discovered about each of those five women. Number one, Anja Africa, who most recently passed away. In looking at her videos, this sister was clearly concerned that people, some set of people in the Gambia, were out to get her. There are videos she made indicating that she felt that certain people were trying to poison her. She also made videos which I think she felt drew negative attention to her, but she was exposing what goes on in the Gambia. So she had videos about domestic violence in the Gambia. She made a video about whether the Gambia is lawless, saying that it could be a dangerous place for single females. She talked on her videos about how Marabu was taking place in the Gambia, and that would be black magic, like others will call it juju, hoodoo, things of that nature. And, again, she mentioned that people had tried to put hexes or curses on her, and she was concerned about people coming for her, as we would say. And I've not seen anyone allege that she died from poisoning. What I've been told, what I've learned is that apparently she was fasting, she became dehydrated, they took her to the Gambian hospital, and while there, her organs began to fail and she passed away. Just tragic, just absolutely tragic, in my opinion. And I asked my sister friend Kiddist, why didn't she just come back? And Kiddist indicated that she was gathering her resources to come back, but this happened in the interim. So before I go any further, let me just say, in my humble opinion, even if you move to an African country, buy yourself a round trip ticket, cancel that return trip, and have those credits to your account so that you have the ability to come back to America whenever you feel it's necessary. I'm not suggesting that she was with or without funds. I don't know her circumstances, but based on some of the things I saw in her videos, I just couldn't help but question why she didn't come back home. Okay. So that's what happened with Anja. And the significant thing there, in my opinion, is that she felt that people were trying to put hexes or curses on her. She felt that people were trying to poison her, that there were people who were out to get her. And then ultimately, she did very recently pass away. The Black female, the sister who passed away before her, was Veronica Histed, Histed, as I mentioned, and she had a YouTube channel as well, and the title was Veronica Histed, her name. The last video she made was about 6 months ago, so she has died within the last 6 months. Veronica was a YouTuber who pointed out the unsafe food practices in the Gambia. She was pointing out that there were a lot of blackouts with no electricity, and that grocery store or shop owners had food items that were refrigerated and or frozen. And when the power came back on, instead of discarding those items as unsafe to eat and replacing them, the shop owners would instead refrigerate them again, refreeze them. People were getting sick. And this is something that she talked about frequently in her videos. It was almost like a crusade, I would say, that she was on to make the food in the Gambia safe. As with Anja, Veronica also felt that people were trying to put a curse or a hex on her, perhaps primarily because of what she was doing with unsafe food. Certainly it's safe to say that shop owners, there were some people in the Gambia who were not happy with what she was doing, but she was determined to bring that out. She was going to the shop owners. Some of them were getting on board with her safe foods plan. Others presumably were not. You can check out her videos and see how she went about that. But again, it's significant that she felt that somebody in the Gambia or somebodies were out to do something to her, and she ultimately passed away there unexpectedly. It appears that Veronica, from what I can tell from my research on YouTube, had been robbed once or twice within a couple months before she passed. And all that is really significant. There are some allegations that she died from food poisoning. Others assert that she died from an asthma attack. But at the end of the day, there are no autopsies being performed on these women. So we don't really know what they're dying from. But again, she died unexpectedly, just as Anja Africa did. That's two. The third woman who died, apparently a few months before Veronica died, was a woman, a Black American woman named Mary. Some called her Matu, and she was the owner of a hair salon, and it was called Natty Locks Boutique, apparently a successful one. Now, there have been some allegations that Mary died of heart disease, but a lot of the YouTubers and the information that I found on YouTube said that she was not ill, that she had spoken with family members and friends and been in contact with them prior to passing away, and there was nothing wrong with her. And she passed away unexpectedly as well. And then after she passed away, there were some allegations on YouTube that although her family wanted her shop closed down, somehow it was open and somebody was in there. I didn't investigate that thoroughly because my concern was what? Yet another Black American woman had passed away unexpectedly in the Gambia. And then prior to Mary's passing, the fourth Black American woman to pass away was Beverly Allen, who some called Dr. Beverly. Beverly was from America as well. Some have suggested that she may even have been from the state of Maryland. She appeared to be fine. There was nothing wrong with her. Most of the accounts that I was able to find said that her death was unexpected. There was nothing wrong with her. But there are some people on YouTube who assert that she was unwell and that she was pushing through. And so, I mean, I guess the suggestion is that she passed away as a result of whatever illness she had. But most people are like, this was unexpected. There's nothing wrong with her, but she passed away there. One of the significant things about Beverly is that she had land. She had purchased land in the Gambia. She had built a house on that land. She had been in a relationship allegedly with a Gambian man, but that relationship had ended. And she passed away unexpectedly. And then the fifth woman to pass away unexpectedly within the last 9 to 12 months was Audrey Davis, who had a YouTube channel entitled Soul Her Sistar, Sistar. Again, she passed away unexpectedly. There's no assertion that she was ill or anything like that. And you can see from her videos that she appeared to be perfectly fine. She had a land. She had purchased land there. She had a house too. She too allegedly had been involved in a relationship with a Gambian man, but that had ended. So for the most part, these women were business owners and or landowners who just passed away. I will say that with regard to Veronica Histed, she had indicated on her YouTube videos that her funding that had been coming from the United States ended, so she was struggling financially. I know that Anja and Sister Kittist had closed down their business due to some problems with the properties that the business was housed in the Gambia, but I don't know what her financial circumstances were. Um, but it appears that the other women were not lacking in financial resources. And I'm just concerned about what appears to be a pattern. I mean, if it's a one off, you'll be shocked and dismayed, but 5 women within the last 9 to 12 months, all from America, all Black women. And then, in looking on YouTube, I had to recall that some years back, about a couple years ago, so many Blacks who had relocated primarily from America, but also from the UK, were talking about how they had been robbed, their homes have been broken into, so many things have been stolen. Then I found a video from, I believe this woman's Gambian. She came on YouTube 2 years ago purporting to discuss why so many Black Americans were being robbed, but actually revealing that Gambians were joining together to attack Black Americans whom they felt were coming over there buying land that belonged to their ancestors or their relatives, and that the Black Americans had no right to purchase. But I mean, realistically, we're talking about single individuals or couples purchasing a lot and building on that. We're not talking about the Chinese purchasing massive quantities of land and building that fishing factory in the Gambia, or the Europeans coming in and buying up land and running hotels in the Gambia. And that's this whole thing with some Africans, some Gambians in particular, that because of the color of our skin, they have a problem with whatever we're doing. But people with white looking skin can come over there and do all kinds of things, and they don't have anything to say about it. That's all I'm going to say about that. But I was dismayed to hear that woman say that Gambians were joining together to attack African Americans. And just a casual review of other videos reveal that other people were saying things of that nature too. So I'm concerned. At the same time, it has to be acknowledged that there are tons of other Black Americans, single and couples, and people who were single and have gotten married, all kinds of situations, and Blacks from the UK as well, who live in the Gambia, who some of them have been robbed, I must say, but other than that, they're still alive and they seem to be prospering and doing well and enjoying the Gambia. There are some videos where people will come on and say it's a safe place, it's peaceful. So, I mean, everything needs to be taken in balance. But I, as a Black American female, am quite concerned about the safety of my sisters. In that live I joined in on this past weekend, a lot of the women were talking about the need to have community, to check on each other, to join together. There's another YouTuber, a male, who has been in the Gambia for quite some time. He's from the UK, has had successful business there for quite a while. He mentioned how these women, these 5 women that I'm discussing here in this video, they all live relatively close to each other, which is interesting. And this brother was on his video suggesting ways that single Black women can protect themselves and be safe in the Gambia. All of that's very concerning to me. I'm not suggesting that if one were to go to Gambia, Black American female, they would pass away unexpectedly, but I am highlighting these 5 women who have done so, and I'm suggesting that single Black Americans who intend to go to the Gambia should be careful, be wary, plan, connect with others, and stay safe. And that's all I'm going to say about the topic for now. It is possible that I may learn more information that requires me to come back and say more, but at this point, I just want to put that information out there. And I hope that my viewers have found it informative. If you like this video, please click on the like button. And again, subscribe. I would really appreciate it if you would join the Raising the Vibe family. And until the next video, peace and love and light. Be safe.